Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live today. It's Friday. I don't normally go live on Fridays, so this is fun, something different. This is our day 5 of our craft along. So if you've been following along, we've already created 8 projects so far. Today we have 2 more. These were those are tomorrow's projects. I had to pre-record. Yesterday's projects, we had this gorgeous card done in pinks and cherry cobbler. So these were yesterday's projects that we made. Hello, hello. We are jumping into day 5 out of 6. So we're getting close to the end. It's been a lot of fun every day getting to go live together. So hello to everybody. So that was day 4. Day 3 were these 2 projects. I love the mead for tweed paper. Gives such dimension and texture. Hello, hello everybody. And then this was also from day 3. This really showcases the fun of that jar of joy, which by the way, guys, is unorderable right now. I think me and all my friends and everybody else who loves how awesome it is, they ran out, but they'll make more. Stampin' Up! Creates all of their own stamps, so it just takes a little bit for them to do it, but they will. So it'll come back, hopefully not too long. Day 2 was this adorable card, and also, no, I did not burn up last night at golf. Thank you for asking. It actually stormed on us, and we could only get in 5 holes. And it wasn't too bad. Obviously it was hot, but it wasn't too bad. But we got rained on and stormed. So a big storm hit us. This was day 2. This is a super cute fun fold using, again, I love how every day it's kind of been like, day 3 definitely focused on more of the browns and cobblers. Day 4, we had a really fun color combination. Today, we're going to be using some reds and basic beige. I love basic beige. That's day 2. And then day 1, I focused on crumb cake and made this adorable crumb cake box. And then also, this card. And I love the basic beige. So we're going to use basic beige again today as well. So using all the fun products that we encouraged you to get. All right, you guys are about ready to jump in and get started. Making sure I've got all my pieces today and all my stuff. I need to make sure we get the dots out here as well. And then tomorrow will be day 6. I have 2 more cards for you, and those will be posted at the same time at 2 o'clock. It will not be a live. They are pre-recorded. It's a pre-recorded video because tomorrow is Saturday, and I rarely ever work on a weekend unless it's for like a big event. And I'm having a family photo done with my entire family for my parents. All right, today we're jumping into day 5. These were designed by my friend Hattie Nelson. So if you guys know Hattie, she is incredible. She's one of the most beautiful people I know. But also she has her little son Sterling. I've gotten to know Hattie really well, probably as long as I've known Jennifer. We did this elite mastermind together, and then she's just been a good friend of mine. So she's also a very, very talented stamper. I love, love, love her projects. So I'm glad that she partnered along with us this time, and you guys got to see some of her beauty too. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a basic beige, and we need this to be 4 1/4 by 11. And then you're going to need another piece of basic beige as well. And that piece is going to be 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm just going to cut it just because I got it out here right now. So 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. So this is our craft along, day 5. A lot of you pre-purchased the package. I see so many of you on here that bought the package ahead of time. We actually, I had to do it 3 different times. We've sold, and I actually still have a couple more because I had to do about 4 more. So I went ahead and did 12 more. So I think I have about 6 packages left. You can still order it. The link is up in this description. And then you'll get all the cardstock. You'll get all the things, all the, both papers. You'll get the ribbon, the twine, the dots, and you get the huge tutorial pack. So you'll get all, so this comes when you buy the package, or you can purchase it for $25 to follow along with, or you can watch the videos and that doesn't cost anything. Or what we're doing, all of us are doing, if you place an online order, so again, we'll let Stampin' Up! Pay us and not you. So if you place an online order that's at least $50, then we will also email you. So, and we've had a bunch of you take advantage of that. So if you placed your online order and have not gotten your tutorial, let me know. That's a manual process on my part. So I hope I didn't miss anybody, but just in case, let me know. All right, so those are, we also need the need for tweed paper, and we're using this piece right here. We use this piece a lot. That is going to be 1 inch by 5 1/4. Let me just double check to be sure. Yep, 1 inch by 5 1/4. Well, that's funny. That's not even 5 1/4 long. So let me get a different piece. Okay, we'll do this one. So it's 5 1/4 by 1 inch. So I just measure my little 1 inch over there. Okay, so that's the piece we need for our need for tweed paper. We also need a piece of we're gonna need some basic white for sure for our labels and our stamping. And then we're gonna need a piece that's 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. Hey, that's the same piece. That's the same size as our basic beige. I love following along with a tutorial. Love it, love it, love it. It's like you don't have to think for a little bit. Okay, so there are our pieces we need for this beautiful card. And let's jump in and get started. Well, I can't go very far with this. I'm gonna need this in just a second. So the first thing we're gonna do, you can fold this in half. I'm gonna score it at 5 1/2. I've really learned to love scoring. My cards in half. So, and then what you're gonna do is you are going to measure in 1 1/4. So you're gonna go to 1 1/4, and if you have the tutorial, the very, very original ones, like we have fixed it, so hopefully you have a fixed one. It might say 1 inch, but you're gonna go up and cut that. So you wanna make sure that, I'm measuring that 1 1/4 over here, and then you're gonna cut up to that score mark, so right at the 5 1/2 inch mark, and you're going to stop. So it looks like this. All right. I have never made this card before. That's what, again, I love partnering with my friends because we all get different ideas, and I've never made this style of card before. All right, this is gonna get glued down to the flap over here. And then this flap, you're just gonna glue that down. So this is the part that actually opens on your card. How fun is that? Sandy says, I think the PDF had an error in number 1 directions. You can definitely send us that, Sandy, and we will double check it and correct it. So we have them in a Google Drive, so we can update them. But if you want to send it to me, Sandy, we can definitely look at it. We all 6 of us make each other's projects, so we do try to catch each other's errors because it's very simple. It's really easy to have errors in our PDFs, but that's why we try to work together as a team. And I also have a really good friend of mine who helps me catch some of those errors too. Okay, so are you talking about, Sandy, about card number 1 or day number 1, or actually number 1? Number 1 on this page, because if you're talking about this page, I have corrected it. So all the current PDFs, or if you're using the Google Drive, we've changed it. So it should be corrected. All right. Next, we're going to take the other piece of basic beige, and we're going to run that through with the awesome, super awesome. Okay. All right, Jody. I will look that up and we'll get that to you. Okay, so we're going to run this through with our hybrid embossing folder. Jody, if you can like just, send us a message or, all right, you can just, so that way we can find it. Okay, so then I'm just gonna go ahead and you just use the gray. There we go. Yeah, Hattie messaged us, Sandy, right? A couple of days before. So how we do our tutorials is in a Google Drive. So it's been fixed, but if you printed them off at the very, very beginning, because if you ordered it in the beginning, we sent it to you before we even started. That one probably had the error in there. So it has been fixed on there. So everybody else's should be good to go. All right, now I'm going to glue this piece down to here. Beautiful. Everyone who knows me knows I love my tone on tone. I love that. So this is the basic beige layer there. Okay, so next up, I did all the running ahead of time. And this one I think is so cool. None of us did this but Hattie, and I love it. She ran off both labels so that they are, that they layer each other exactly. We're going to take the Jolly Holly. I always call it Holly Jolly, but it's the Jolly Holly bundle. And we're gonna stamp that Merry Christmas. And again, they're in, you're gonna build it, you kind of build up. You can do Happy Christmas. Ooh, we're gonna do Merry Christmas. So I just usually try to get them straight and then take my block and pick them up that way. So we need, this one is using Cherry Cobbler. Actually, she did more like this. Let's see, I like that. Where the Mary is a little bit further over to the right. We'll take the Cherry Cobbler and we're going to stamp that right there in the middle. Nice. Sweet. And then my dear sweet friend Nancy came in and cleaned up I think she saw yesterday how crazy it was in here, and cleaned it all up for me, made my cleaner nice and cleaned my cleaner for me. I love Nancy. Works here every Wednesday and every Friday. So I love that she takes care of me, which takes care of you guys because she helps me. All right, so our next step, also while we have the stamp set out, I ran through 2 of the sprigs and then 2 of the holly. So these are all in that Jolly Holly. So are the labels. So if this is your first day joining me, shout out to you. Thanks for being here. If this is your 5th day, that's another huge shout out to you. I appreciate all of you. So the Jolly Holly bundle, you can see, I did do this ahead of time, but I ran through both of the labels and then 2 of these sprigs and 2 of those hollies. So we ran through those already. And now I'm gonna try to stamp. So let me get we're gonna take the little holly leaves. We're gonna stamp in a black memento. Let's put this, I had a mess with Cherry Cobbler yesterday, didn't I? So I'm gonna respect it today and put it away. Okay, so let's stamp 2 of these. Okay, I'm taking a break right now from doing Card Club. I'm shipping out my Card Club. We have 120 members. Well, that was a good one, Rhonda. And it takes all day to to do the sorting, and it takes all day to print the postage and the shipping. So I'm taking a little break from that. I'm hoping UPS doesn't come while I'm back here. All right, then we're going to do the sprigs next, and the sprigs are done in basic beige, which is a nice pale. Here for all 5. Thank you, Jennifer. I love it. Okay, so we're going to stamp our little sprigs here. Again, you can run them first and then stamp them because you're using the photopolymer, so they're clear so you can kind of see where you're stamping. Or you can stamp it first and then try to line it up on your trimmer. All right, so it's basic beige. Here we're going to take our cherry cobbler blends and our, let's see, what color blends? Mossy Meadow blends and our cherry cobbler blends. So let me grab those really quick. Here we go. Light Mossy Meadow and cherry cobbler. And we're just gonna do these little hollies. Coloring is so calming. Oh, it's like almost you can feel the stress like release when you color. Because yeah, shipping out Card Club usually is a stressful day, but we're almost done. We just gotta try to beat UPS before they get here because we do a call tag. All right. And then we have, so this is the Mossy Meadow. So Mossy Meadow and cherry cobbler. Okay. And then we'll do this one. I love these hollies and sprigs for like the little extra touches on a card. We used those yesterday too, and the bells. So they have those nice little accent pieces. Okay, so there's that. Love to color. Thank you, Hattie, for getting us to color. All right, so next, this is a really cool thing that Hattie did here. I love this. First of all, she took a piece of our twine, and it's the red and white. She didn't want red and white. She wanted just cherry cobbler. So our blends are really cool. You gotta get a scrap piece of paper. Let's see if I've got a scrap piece over here. Oh, I got a Post-it note. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your blends. This is the cherry cobbler. I'm gonna take my dark cherry cobbler. And you're just gonna go ahead and run it along the twine. And then it colors it so it'll be solid. When I looked at her card, I'm like, wait a minute, did she pull the thread out of there? But it didn't look like it because it'd be really thin. And so then I had never thought to do this. Oh, look, I'm getting ribbon. So go ahead and color. Yep, pretty solid. There you go. I think I need a little bit more. You just don't want to see any of the twisty. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside just so it dries a little bit. As you can tell, it wasn't quite dry there. All right. The next thing she did was close that up. We're going to take the Mossy Meadow ribbon and just a smaller piece. I'm going to say probably about 7 inches, and hold it there on the bigger label. All right. Hello, everybody. Got lots of people joining us now. I love it. Then you're going to take your now cherry cobbler ribbon, and we're going to tie this around and tie a bow. And that's going to hold this down. Okay. This is a little tedious, but there. Once you get it started, then it's not so hard. And I like to tie a knot because sometimes the twine can get slippery. So this way, it's not as slippery on you. Okay, I'll have to ask my friend Hattie. She has a secret to have her fingers not turn cherry cobbler, because now look, my fingers are I'm gonna feel like I'm bleeding all day. All right, I just don't want to get it on my card like last time. So we're just gonna trim that off. Should probably let it sit a little bit longer. I don't have that patience. Okay, let's get that out of here. I should go wash my hands. So there. Next, we're going to take the original Merry Christmas with some, oh, yay. Nancy refilled my dimensionals. That makes me happy. Look, I have a brand new sheet. This whole week, I think I've gone through an entire sheet of dimensionals. That's what happens when you make 12 projects. All right. So we'll take that Merry Christmas. That's going to go. And then this goes right over top of here. And I think it's a little bit further over. There you go. So pretty. This is probably a little long, so I'll just trim it. Now that I have it done, now I can trim off there. Sweet. Okay, let's go to our card. And we're going to, down here at the bottom, so again, just put glue over on this side. And this is going to go kind of over, not completely over, but kind of over there. So then again, when you open it, it opens like that. We're going to create a little, get your mini glue dots out. Like a little bouquet, that's what I want to say. We're going to create like a little bouquet here of with our images that we already did, just like that. So it's a little bouquet, and then take our, I'm gonna take 2 mini glue dots to really hold this down. Okay, and that's gonna go up here. So pretty. This is where we're at so far. Oh, Gayla, you're so smart. You did your red twine this morning. I love it. Oh, someone needs to steal a Nancy. I mean, I literally, you guys, I'm not joking. She went and opened a new whole pack. She watches along every day. This morning I was talking to her and she was like, your craft along has been so fun. And then I got here and she had everything cleaned off and organized because I think I was a little bit of a hot mess yesterday with with everything everywhere. Because we use all the same stuff, so I really haven't been putting it away like I should. And Nancy came and cleaned everything for me, so I would be ready for today. Tomorrow's video, I already did because I had to pre-record it. That one's, I was really messy on that one. Okay, so we're not quite done yet. Of course, on the inside here, we're gonna stamp our favorite little stamp out of here. Or at least it's my favorite little stamp. With our cherry cobbler to finish our card off, and then we're gonna sprinkle on some dots. You go through, you know, we include like a whole thing of the ribbon, the dots, the twine, and with 12 projects, we use most all of it. So it's a good thing that we send you full packages of it. Okay, so we just got to add our dots. Here they are. So our low profile sparkle gems. What I love about Nancy is that she, like, everything she does for me, I share with you guys. Like, she creates things that help me just be better, like to be more organized, and my brain doesn't think that way and hers does, so it really, 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 really helps me. All right, she's got one down here. I like one down there. Okay, card number 1. How fun to open like that. Very beautiful. I love the little touch right here of the ribbon, so you can see it, and then when you open it you can see the ribbon here too. So this card turned out absolutely stunning. I love it. Okay, so card number 2 is a fun one. So that one used the Jolly Holly bundle, and then of course we also used the Jar of Joy. So if you have not purchased the Jar of Joy, which hopefully you did at the very beginning of the week or you did early on, it's unorderable. It doesn't happen often that our stamps go unorderable because we make our own. I think there's been a landslide of people ordering them, which is really cool. Like, I love that. So, but don't worry, Stampin' Up, we make our own stamps, so they'll come out with more, obviously. All right, so this card, hello, lots of new people. Oh, good. Jolene got the bundle. The jar of joy, which is what we're going to be using now. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. I have it buried. So now we're going to switch to the jar of joy stamp set and have a little more fun with this one. This one we're using traditional real red. So go ahead and cut that in half at 5 1/2. And then we're going to make a traditional card of this one too. So score it at 4 1/4. We're going to just score that. All right, let's get the rest of our measurements. We'll go ahead and do all of our cutting while we're here. We need a piece of early espresso that is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. I love that measurement. I use that measurement a lot. You can get 5 out of this sheet when you do that measurement. Basic white, we need a couple pieces. We need 4 5/8. Oh, man, by 2 5/8. Okay, 2 5/8 by 4 5/8. Okay, and then we also need 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. I got that one nailed. 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Okay, and then we need some of the designer series paper, the Country Woods, and it looks like she used this pattern here. You could use any of the patterns if you like a different pattern. We chose the Country Woods as one of our papers, not because it was brand new. It's actually been around for a year or two, about a 1.5 years, but it is, I have ordered, hundreds of packages of this paper, and me myself have used dozens of it. It's such a universal one that you can use, and I love how we can bring that kind of farmhouse country feel to our Christmas projects. So this one we're going to do 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. 3. Is that right? Yep, 3 3/8. Oh yeah, it's a little bit hair shorter. Okay, that's right. Okay, and then the other piece is 5 1/4 by 2. Here you go. Okay, that's all of our paper we need for this card too. Okay, let's jump in. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add, I don't need this anymore, I don't think. First thing you're going to do is add your designer series paper to the early espresso, and it should be cut with that little 1/8 inch border going around. And I think it is. Okay, step 2 is we are going to wrap the, it does say to wrap it. So I'm gonna do the white piece first before I wrap it. Yeah, I'm gonna do this first. Okay, so our next step is going to be to take this, the smaller piece of white. I knew this again. And at the bottom right-hand corner, you are going to mark it at 1 inch. So let me grab a pencil. Or just something. I guess I would use a pencil if I were you. I don't have a pencil nearby, so I'm just going to mark it. So the bottom right-hand corner, you want to measure 1 inch, and you want to mark that. So I'm just going to mark it with my little marker here, as you can see. So the bottom right-hand corner, I'm marking at 1 inch. Okay, so then what we want to do is you want to now cut from this point here to that 1 inch. So you're making a diagonal. You could just freehand guess, but in the measurements, in the directions, we give you exact. So that's what you're left with. Okay, now, so I would rather, before I wrap my ribbon around, that's gonna go right down there. And I think I have it, it goes just like that, actually. There you go. All right, so let's do our stamping on this piece, and then we can, wishing you the sweetest Christmas. We're gonna stamp that with real red up there on the corner. I love the variety that it gives you using that diagonal instead of just using straight. So wishing you the sweetest Christmas. And then coming out of the jar, this was super cute too. We haven't done this yet either. You're gonna take the speckle, which I thought was like snowflakes, but these are kind of like, let's say you're having like, I don't know, cookies or something. It's kind of like the dust of the cookies. I'm just gonna take that crumb cake. Well, this is basic beige. Oh, I have a crumb cake pad. You're gonna take crumb cake. You could use basic beige too. I guess you could use either or. I'm gonna take crumb cake and stamp this speckled about 5 times. So we're just gonna go ahead and stamp that here. There you go. So you want to stamp that on there on the other side. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see it. Let me clean my stamp off. Put that back. All right, we are going to need a jar, and we're going to stamp the jar in early espresso. Change stamp pads real quick. We're going to stamp the jar in early espresso on a piece of scrap white, which I had a piece right here, still left over from yesterday, scrap white. And then on the inside there, we're going to stamp our little gingerbread men on that too. We're going to use the gingerbread men. We're going to stamp it crumb cake, and then we're going to stamp it off again. So let's go back to that crumb cake and grab our gingerbread. This is the full strength one. So stamp that on the inside of our jar. There you go. And then we're gonna use crumb cake again, but we're gonna just stamp it off this time. So with a detailed. So you've seen this, we've done this a lot this week, but all different color combinations, right? We've done it with pecan pie and espresso. We've done crumb cake. We've done all kinds of, and we've done it where the background is lighter, done it where the background is darker. So you're gonna get to play with what really does, like kind of is your favorite version of it. So you get to have some, this whole week, you got to play with all different ways to be able to do that. All right, I also am gonna need the lid, but the lid I'm gonna stamp in Memento. Okay, and then we're gonna color that in with red. So grab that lid and just stamp a scrap piece there. And we're gonna color that in with red. Okay. There we go. I know, like, I'm not sure how you guys make cards. Like, I love making cards like this, where I just make one based on a tutorial. But when I'm usually making cards, like for an event or for Christmas or for anything, I usually make multiple. So this one, you can like stamp them all at once and punch them out all at once. Like you can, this actually is a pretty good, you can mass produce. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Scary, all these open stamp pads everywhere. All right, back to here. I keep thinking this is dried. I'm gonna have to see if that will clean off. Now I'll have to get a new, take our sweet jar punch and punch out our jar that we've already done. And then, I scared you with that, didn't I? I know, is scary. Then there's our lid too. I think that scrap paper is done. I think I killed that scrap paper. All right, good deal. I love it when you go through a whole piece. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble our card. See, I always try to do all the stamping first, so then if and when I make a mistake, I have some variation to flip it over and try again. Now I'm gonna wrap that ribbon around. I think the directions say to do it first, but I wanted to be able to have like where I'm actually gonna have it. So she did a double wrap. I like a double wrap. And then tie that into a bow. Down here. See, all the way down here. And with twine, a lot of times I tie a knot because it can get slippery. So I tie a knot first and then I'll do a bow. Plus, then it stays in place to let you do the bow because it does get like it's a little slippery. Okay, there you go. So cute. I love this striped ribbon. All right, and you can move this so it's along that diagonal line. Okay, this goes onto the front of our card, and I'm gonna use, this needs to go, that bonus there, a little bit further over. There you go. Those dimensionals. I thought I left them out, but maybe I didn't. Nope, I didn't. I put them back. We'll add this with Stampin' Dimensionals. You guys I've had a lot of fun working on Christmas projects. I have designing them, making them all week. It's been so fun. All right, so that will go on the front there. Our jar we need some more dimensionals with our jar. So we'll do that. And I love Hattie, how she put this card together. It's like the cakes or like the crumbs are like bursting out of the jar. So you need to put a dimensional on this one too. So this jar, it's like the jar is opened. So we'll put this all the way over here. You can see where like how then this speckles are kind of coming out of it. Let's see, there you go. And then the lid is kind of like it's opened. See, isn't that so cute? I love how she did that. Absolutely love it. Now she also did the same little tip that Michelle did. But let's decorate the inside. Hattie did a great job as well decorating the inside. So we have this nice 2-inch piece that will go down here at the bottom. On our piece of 4 3/4 by 3.5, I use this a lot for the insides too. I love it, that so does Hattie, because it's really all you need to write your message on. And if you do that, it says, then you can get 5 out of a sheet of paper. So you get another whole card out of that sheet of paper. So I love that. So I do that for my insides too. 4 3/4 by 3.5. Thank you, Priscilla. It has been a fun week. This is our 5th day in a row. And then we do have tomorrow, we have 12 projects. So you really, if you invested in this product, you should have lots and lots of reasons now and different ideas, different ways that we use the embossing folder and the different ways that we used all of the product. Okay, then we have one more stamp. She took the ornaments, and I love how she decorated the inside with our real red. And I'm gonna ink that up. And just stamp that over here. There you go. So there's our inside piece. And then last, we did this was it yesterday? Oh no, we do it tomorrow. I filmed it yesterday, so I'm getting myself confused. You're gonna have no idea what I'm talking about because that's for tomorrow's project. But so we do this again tomorrow. But Hattie wanted to use red dots, and so tomorrow is Michelle's projects, and Michelle did too. We don't have red dots. So what they did was take our yellow ones with our cherry, let's see, what color blends did she use? Let's see. She used the Real Red blends. So take your Real Red, I'm gonna take my dark Real Red. I've got that, where's my dark Real Red. Okay, very, very, very gently, you wanna color these in. So what this does is it makes these, or she used 1, 2, 3, 4, wow, she used 7 of them. So you want to very carefully, because if you do it rough, it will actually, I like it with the cherry cobbler. Cherry cobbler actually even looks more red. It will destroy the tip of your blends if you are rough. So don't be super rough with it. You want to be a little bit gentle. So I'm going to do 3 big ones and 4 little ones. Okay. So the blends are cool how you can do that. So we're taking these yellow ones, and it actually makes these so shiny, because of the yellow underneath of it actually makes them very, very, very bright. They're really pretty. So Hattie used 7. All right, so we're gonna make them red, a very bright, beautiful red, by the way. And we're adding them to the front of this card. Okay, she did, let's just see where she sprinkled them. Got one over here. Can you see how bright those are? They're really, really beautiful. And then we have another one that is here. Oops. Well, I think it might stay there. We'll see. I want it to go a little, oh, there you go. It's a little bit higher. And then we have a little one here. A couple more little ones. Let's see. There you go. Fun with the sparkle. So pretty. And then we have 2 other little ones inside the cookie jar. So it's kind of I think the thought behind this is you open the cookie jar and the decorations come out and the cookie crumbs are out. I think it's so fun. Okay. We've got one there, one more right down here. Oh, adorable. Thank you, Hattie. And now we get to share that with all of you. So this is why I love partnering with others. I love it so that it brings so much fun, hopefully for you guys. It's definitely really super fun for me. So here are our next 2, day 5. So we have a total of 10 projects now that we've made for you. If you've missed any of them, you can go back and look at my past videos. And tomorrow we'll have 2 more for a total of 12 projects. You can make sure that you are following along. Make sure you follow this page. We do videos every single week, usually just 1 video a week. We don't typically do 6 in a row, but we will be doing it at the very end of August. So stay tuned. We'll be announcing, probably in the next couple weeks, we'll be announcing a new craft along called Fun Fold Frenzy. Super excited about that. And so there you go. Here is our cards from today. And we always love it when you give us those hearts. Let me know if you enjoyed it, and also sharing this as well. So thanks again for joining me on a Friday. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and come back tomorrow. We'll have one more video right here at 2 o'clock, and it will also be on YouTube. Bye-bye.